Hi, everybody. Reese Davis with you, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Think of these names: Osi Umenyiora, DeMarcus Ware, T.Y. Hilton. All of them, before becoming pros, starred in the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt might be one of the best-kept secrets in college football. Time to let you in on the secret. Thanks for checking out the pregame show. NCAA college football action coming up next with Brad and Kirk on the call. David and I will see you at halftime.
This is Monroe, Louisiana, the place to be for an exciting college football game. Before we head down to the field for the coin toss, we'd like to remind you this game is brought to you by Coke Zero. Real Coke taste, 0 calories. Enjoy everything. Both teams have sent their special teams onto the field, and we're ready for the opening kickoff. And he got all of this one. Great kick. He's to the 20. The quarterback brings his troops out onto the field for the first drive of the game. They make the stop at about the 31. Not a bad little play there.
Yeah, this is a nice job by the quarterback reading the coverage and delivering a very catchable ball and allowing his receiver to come up with a nice gain.
And he's taken down around the 33-yard line. Throws it away. From their own 33-yard line. Second down. Brought down at the 33. Over the middle to his tailback. They'll bring him down at the 43-yard line. Wow, a long game, but still not enough for the first.
Well, the offense hurt themselves by digging themselves into a hole on first and second down, so the defense didn't really have to put too much thought in how to defend on that third down.
Prater is waiting for the snap. He makes it out maybe to the 26-yard line. So here comes the offense taking the field for the first time today. Fires quickly, and he's got his man. Tackle at the 36.
This guy has that innate ability to get just enough distance from a defender to make a completion possible. You don't see it from every receiver, but this guy's got it.
Passes left, gets it out to the halfback. He gets hit out of bounds at the 44-yard line. The Warhawks have a lot at stake here, including some possible record-breaking performances. Records and stats are great, but I think to a man, these players say, let's win the game first, and then any accolades we get along with it, that'd be great. Tackled after a decent pickup. He goes downtown. And it's caught. He's all the way home. Touchdown. And he adds the extra point. A quick update now. Here's Reese.
Let's get you up to date on some games that could really wreak havoc on the BCS standings. And for LSU, their winning streak reaches 5. The Tigers take it by 5. Meanwhile, the Cowboys were ranked 16th. After that W, they hope to slide up a few spots next week. And for Houston, they've now dumped 4 in a row. Oklahoma State gets the W, 34-14.
Thanks, Reese. 7-0 game here. Wilkinson has his kick team lined up, and he is set to kick this one off. He just drills this one. He's to the 20. Tackle made at the 23. The Warhawks are right where they want to be early in this one, partner.
Well, this is what their coach talked about, getting off to a great start. The defense did their job, and it's nice to see the offense move the ball down the field and also get some points on the board.
You never like to have to play from behind, but a deficit this manageable shouldn't be in the front of their minds. They just need to go out there and play. Pulls down the catch, and he's got room here.
The quarterback and his receiver make a great play here and convert on an early down.
Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry. And down he goes at the 37-yard line. Just throws this one away. It's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 37-yard line. And he's going to be sacked for a loss.
You know, that time I think he saw the pressure was coming. He tried to make a play as a quarterback, and I can understand that. But eventually, you've got to be able to get rid of the football before you take a sack. That is a minus for the quarterback.
He's going left. It's broken up. McKinney was the intended receiver on the play, and that'll make it 4th down.
The offense really had nowhere to go on that one. The play was very well defended, and now the incompletion will force the 4th down and a punt.
Humphrey is back deep to return the punt. Tackle at the 35.
Decent effort. He's not the type of guy to call a fair catch very often. He does have the ability to make guys miss. The last time out, they were able to pick up big chunks of yards through the air. You wonder if they'll go back to that same strategy, or will they start to lean a little bit more on their ground game?
Has some daylight. And he's tackled after positive yardage. Fuller gains about 5 yards on the option play. He's at midfield. And he is drilled at the 35-yard line. Perfectly run option keeper.
Not what you'd expect when you prepared all week to defend the option. But then again, give this offense some credit. These guys aren't exactly the scout team.
Fires it out. He's taken down at about the 29-yard line. And now he's got room to run. Makes it out to about the 20. He lets it fly. Incomplete. Almost picked off.
As a defender, you want to keep your hands up. Maybe you can come away with a pick or at least deflect the ball.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line. Here's an opening, and he's got the touchdown. He makes the PAT. A 6-play, 65-yard drive, and they come away with a touchdown.
And the big plays that they had running the football were the keys to that drive.
Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. Excellent kick. He's to the 20. And he's taken down at the 27-yard line. The Warhawks are smothering the opposition so far today. What's this offense got to do to get off the schneid?
Well, you've talked to offensive coordinators about that, and they'll say we've got to find our go-to guy. Who are our players that we know we can count on, and what are the plays that we typically feel the most confident about? That's usually where the offenses tend to go when they're getting shut down like this.
Nice run up the middle. Fritz gets the call again. Tackle made at the 32. And he tackles him hard at the 23-yard line. Prater to punt. And he's tackled at the 46-yard line. The Warhawks are parlaying some of those big plays into the lead here in the first.
Well, it's nice to see explosion plays for this offense. They've done a really good job of executing, finding some of the one-on-one opportunities and taking advantage of it.
So it's time to see this offense go to work again.
This defense couldn't stop them from moving the ball and inevitably finding the end zone.
And he's shoved out of bounds at the 49. It's on the ground, and the offense picks it up. He loses some ground. He's tackled at the 19. So the sack makes this 3rd and very long.
Here we go.
They'll make the sack. What a play by the freshman linebacker.
There's really nothing he could have done against a rush like that.
The sack makes this a 4th and very long. Jacobs, the return man. He's tackled at the 45-yard line. The Warhawks are looking downright scary on defense so far, Herbie.
They are flying around as a group right now, completely aware of what this offense is trying to do and dismantling them every single time on every single play.
It's not quite a blowout, but unless they do something here, it might turn into one. He's in trouble. Got his receiver, dropped it, incomplete. Second down, 10 to go. Ball on the 45. Quick strike to the receiver. And he's tackled at about the 33-yard line. He's into the open field. Gets out to around the 25.
That makes it second and 2.
He makes his way out to about the 9.
Very well-designed play that time to give them a first down. The linemen executed their blocks nicely, and it went for a good gain.
Got a man open, touchdown. And he converts the extra point. It was a 5-play, 44-yard drive, and they come away with 7 points.
Brad, I thought that was a textbook drive. I thought they did a really good job of showing balance, mixing the play calling with the run and the pass. Just an overall well-executed touchdown drive.
He's to the 20. Gets to about the 24-yard line. The defense shut him down on their last drive, forcing a quick punt. Fires it quickly. And he's immediately tackled. Gets to around the 42. He tackles him for a loss. The quarterback tried to do a little too much by himself.
Hey, maybe next time he'll get it out to the back so he can do something with it.
From the 45-yard line, it's third down.
Check 83, ball's going to 83.
Fires quick out to the receiver, and he can't make the grab.
Bailey was the intended receiver on the way. That'll bring up 4th and 5.
He's going to aim this one to the sideline, try to kick it out of bounds. This punt bounces into the end zone, and this will be a touchback. And offense is back on the field after running the ball very well on their last drive.
This offensive line really opened up some big gaps for the running back last time.
Got it. And they make the stop at the 46. Right around the 42-yard line.
That makes it second and 6.
He's out of bounds around the 39-yard line. catch, and he's got nowhere to go.
That makes it 4th and 4.
It's 4th down. They'll call on the field goal unit. He gets it up, and it falls short. No good. Their last drive broke down, and they punted. What do they have in store this time out? And he's taken down at the 49-yard line. So at the end of one quarter, the Warhawks lead 14-7. Welcome back here. We resume action now here in the second quarter.
3 down. Mike 55, Mike 55. Let's go.
They go to the left for a nice game. Defense really missed a golden opportunity there.
That's what separates a good player from a great player. When you have a chance like that, you need to take advantage of it.
Here we go.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the 45-yard line.
Let's go.
Will run it again. Tackle around the 46-yard line.
The object was to sell the pass and then sneak by the defensive line with the run. The problem here was that the quarterback didn't sell the pass very well.
Ready. Green 95. Green 95.
Another run. They bring him down in the backfield. The defense was all over that draw play.
And they got very good containment on the halfback. He had nowhere to go with the football.
Let's see if he aims for the sideline and tries to get this thing down deep in their own territory. Little too much leg into that punt. They'll bring it out to the 20. There hasn't been too much daylight between these two teams. In games like this, some players try to press too much, and that can cause mistakes. And he hits him hard at the 12.
This quarterback has to do a better job of avoiding the rush because sacks can be real drive killers.
Defense looking for another sack in this 2nd down and long situation. Quick strike, and he drops it.
The quarterback has to be very careful, Brad, of throwing the football into a position where the wide receiver has a chance to get his head taken off. He threw the ball there, and it made it easy for the defender to be able to separate him from the ball.
And he's hit immediately. Nice run, and he's brought down.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
Watch 14, watch 14.
Fires out quick. It's picked off. He's got an opening to the 20. He came up with a fantastic interception there.
Well, you know the quarterback is kicking himself for that one. He just made the wrong read.
Hoping to double their lead here as they close in on the goal line.
Mike, 55. Right there, 55. Go.
Across the middle, intercepted. He didn't throw it away under pressure, and it really cost him.
It sure did. He saw that he was going to get hit and just threw one up for grabs. He's got to learn to take the sack.
It's first down. This is a dangerous situation backed up against their goal line. Jumbo package on the field. They just want to get this ball out of their own end zone. Brought down at the 3-yard line. Around the 4-yard line. They're packed in tight on the line. They'll bring him down at the 17. They pick up a few yards there on the pass.
And I'll tell you what, that fake handoff froze the secondary just enough to allow for the receiver to come up with a nice gain that time. Good call.
Quick throw, and he's got his receiver again. Brought down in the open field. He gets rid of this one. And once again, they'll come to the line, trying to convert on third down. Catches it, and that's all. McKinney picks him up 6 yards with a catch. Humphrey is back deep to return. Humphrey fields it at the 37. He's hit and got away. Tackle made at the 44-yard line. Now here comes the offense, and you've got to wonder if that last interception's weighing on the quarterback's mind at all.
This quarterback can make good passes. He just needs to focus on not forcing the ball to his receivers.
Makes it out to about the 46. He's into the open field. Nice run there. And he makes it out to about the 37-yard line.
That'll bring up 32.
Up the middle for a nice gain. He might have a chance. He makes his way to about the 22.
That brings us second and 1.
Gains his way to the 10-yard line. From the 10-yard line. First down. Could they get another interception here? That's what they got last time this offense was in the red zone. Tackled after a decent pickup. Quick throw, incomplete, wanted his receiver.
I'm not so sure he made the best decision that time. That was a pretty tight area he was trying to throw that one into.
So we're looking at another third down here. Fires out quickly to the tailback. Tackle made at the 7.
Loss of 2 yards on the play. That brings us 4th and 7.
And if they can connect on this one, that'll put them up by a couple of scores. The kick is up, and they tack on 3 points. Wilkinson has the ball set, and he looks ready to kick this one deep. Excellent kick. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. And here we go with the offense ready to get things going again. And he carries the ball for a nice gain.
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
He's tackled at the 45.
That's good for a gain of 13 yards. 1st down.
Up the middle. Takes it up the middle for a nice run.
That's good for a gain of 7 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
He's taken down at about the 45.
That's a gain of 3 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and inches.
Airing it out long. The defender had it and then dropped it.
That was the intended receiver on the play. That makes it 4th and inches.
Prater is hoping to boom this one down the field. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. The Warhawks looked almost unstoppable in that first quarter. And Herbie, since then, it's not so much that way.
Yeah, they've been sluggish here in recent series, but I think it's important. They still have the lead. This is where some leadership needs to assert itself, and somebody needs to make a play to flip that switch to get this offense going again.
He steps out at the 23.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
From their own 23-yard line. 2nd down. Tosses out to the tailback on the screen. And he's tackled right around the 36-yard line. There's a missed tackle. Throws complete, and he's hit right away. The pass good for maybe 7 yards.
That's a good completion. They didn't get the first down, but they picked up about 7 yards.
So it's 2nd down and about 2 yards to go.
Let's go!
Quick out to his receiver. He goes out of bounds, right around the 50. It's complete for about 7 yards and a first down.
And still, this gunslinger hasn't missed a receiver yet on this drive.
He's under some heat. He's wrapped up for the sack.
But the defense is fired up, responding and reacting to that sack. Not only do they get the quarterback, but they hit him and hit him hard. I think that can really create some confidence for this defense. The next time this quarterback drops back to throw, you got to be thinking he's going to be a little bit gun-shy and concerned about the pressure that this defense is putting on him.
It's 2nd and 15. Ball on the 45. Makes the catch and look out. And they make the stop at around the 48-yard line. The Warhawks are going to call their second timeout.
Here we go.
Setting up blockers, the running back's got it on the screen. It's recovered, so this could be the opportunity they were looking for.
Yeah, this will be a big possession by both teams. The defense now needs to step up and hold their ground. They do not want to let this lead slip away.
They're ready to begin another drive.
Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike, let's go.
He's got it with room to run. And he's taken down at the 46-yard line. South Alabama just took their first time out. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 46-yard line. Oh, and he had some steam on that throw. Tackle around the 49-yard line. The Jaguars going to have to use their second time out of the half. Brought down at the 36-yard line.
Easy. Blue 20. Red 2. Orange 3. Hey, kill. Black 5.
Throws a strike over the middle. And down he goes around the 29-yard line.
Easy. Blue 20.
Going to go across the middle. Caught. They'll bring him down around the 20-yard line.
Kill. Panther 2. Red 2. Orange 3.
Caught, and he's out of bounds. That's a loss. Second and 12 coming up here. Ball on the 22. He's hit and taken down. Looks to him again, complete. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play, Kirk.
Well, that was an excellent route, and he did a great job of holding on to the football.
And this play is number 8 on the drive. Kicks away, and the field goal is good. With only a few ticks left on the clock before halftime, I would expect they'll just squib kick this one. Nice kick, plenty of distance. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Momentum swings have been fairly even. And with so little separation, this game can be drastically changed on just 1 or 2 plays. And they'll get him in the backfield. So we've played 2 quarters. The Warhawks lead 17-10.
We've played 30 minutes. Glad to have you with us on the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. David Pollack and I here in the studio to break down everything that just happened in your game. What a terrific first half. This is everything we anticipated this game being. And we're going to be riveted to this game, I feel like, David, in the second half, anticipating a terrific finish.
It's fun. It's living up to the hype every single time. We can't even turn the channel here. We got it on the big screen, on the big 60-inch. Yes, it's quite nice, by the way, too. The weather's nice and warm. It's beautiful. Got some chips. We're opening them up a little bit. But great game, living up to the hype. It definitely feels like both teams are evenly matched. It feels like it can go either way. It feels like it's going to come down to the wire. And the only thing I hope it doesn't come down to is a kicker. Please don't come down to a kick in the end. Both these teams playing great D, playing great O, physical, pounding on each other, making big plays. Don't come down to a finesse kick by like a soccer player, please.
I can only hope that Nestler and Herbstreit will bring the same type of intensity to their call of the second half that David and I have brought to the halftime show. Of course, they always do. That's it for us here in the studio. Time to get you back out to the guys for the second half.
All right, Reese and David, thanks, guys. Second half action just about ready to start here. He really got a hold of that kick. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. The quarterback leads the offense back out onto the field as we get set to resume play. Quick strike to the receiver, and he's level at the 38-yard line. Toss is left, intercepted. Tackle made at the 45-yard line.
I really like this corner's ability to read the play. He shows very good football smarts and pretty good hands, too.
First and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line. Slings it. And he hits him hard at the 40-yard line.
Sampson's on the tackle at the 40-yard line. That brings him second and 5.
Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Check.
There's a strike complete. He's at the 30. He's pushed out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
First down.
Don't get nervous. Let's go. And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
He gets out to about the 28-yard line.
That makes it second and 10.
Hey, I'm coming after you. Let's go. And we got Mike.
Throws it, and it's tipped away. Third down, and they need to get it to the 19. He fires. And it's intercepted by the senior cornerback. He's out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Really impressed with this guy's closing speed on the ball. He's got the kind of jets you need to be a standout corner.
It's first and 10. Ball on the 15.
Four down. Mike, 55.
So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. He tackles him for a loss.
The option can be really tough to defend. At that time, it was well played by the defense.
From their own 13-yard line, it's second down.
Three down. Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Here we go.
Quick pass.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Eat.
Just throws this one away.
You know, when you feel pressure like that, the worst thing you want to do is just to throw the ball into coverage. He got away with one right there. He's very fortunate. Next time, he should just throw it away out of bounds.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball on their own 25. Quick pass, and he's right there to knock it away.
There's the intended receiver on the way. Third down.
Roger. Hey, check right. 55. Hey, defense, let's go.
Clears it out to the right to the halfback. He's tackled at the 28-yard line. Looks like the defense was in man coverage there, fellas, and that's why they stopped that screen.
Yeah, and when the secondary isn't dropping back into zone, it makes it difficult to have success with that kind of screen play.
Jacobs is back deep to return the punt. And he's taken down at the 36. There's still plenty of time to keep running their offense as usual here. I don't think they need to feel any anxiety about trailing. Delayed handoff. Good outside run there.
That'll make it second and 4.
Squeeze, double. Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
Kill!
Throws. Pulls it in, and he could score. The 10. Touchdown, South Alabama. Here's the PAT to tie this thing up. And he adds the extra point. South Alabama is lining up to kick this one off. Humphrey from the 2. Oh, what a hit. You don't want to squander any possessions, but maybe now's the right time to dip into your bag of tricks a little. Think about some gadget plays to catch the defense napping. And they get the sack.
You can't take sacks like that as a quarterback. You just can't. If you can't find a receiver, get out of the pocket and throw the ball away.
Defense looking for another sack in this second down and long situation.
Three down. Mike 55. Right there.
And he's tackled after positive yardage. Ball comes away with around 5 yards on the delayed handoff. Wants to go long and does. He's taken down at the 41. Run up the middle.
That'll bring up 3rd and Gamertag.
They spread the field in the gun with 5 wide receivers.
Check, 180, fire!
Makes it out to about the 23. He rifles it. Oh, boy, almost intercepted.
You like a team that's ready to defend the pass. It takes some preparation to get in the way of a pass like that.
2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on the 23-yard line. The defense has got some of their best pass defenders on the field. They set up in the dime to counter that 5 wide receiver set. Big play, and it's 1st and goal. Here's play number 10 on the drive.
Let's go!
That makes it 3rd and goal.
Check! Green on fire!
And he's got the touchdown. And for Hall, he's got a real shot at surpassing the team's career rushing touchdown mark.
These fans know they've been lucky to have a guy like this on their ball club. He's one of the best they've ever had.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. Sends it sailing downfield. He's to the 20. Kirk, you and I like seeing points. We're seeing points in this 3rd quarter. This has been fun.
And I think it's going to continue, Brad. I think the adjustments that were made at halftime have allowed these quarterbacks to go out and really be able to take command of how they want to attack each defense. It's going to come down to that final drive.
The offense really came up with a nice drive there last time out, and most of those yards came through the air.
This defense needs to improve from front to back. The line needs to put more pressure on the quarterback, and the defensive backs need to stick it to these receivers with tighter coverage.
Gets it out quickly. And he's tackled at the 30-yard line. Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry. And they finally push him out at the 1. He just grabbed the school's all-time mark for receiving yards in a game.
You see now why they're so anxious to get the ball in this guy's hands. Once he's made the catch, good things tend to happen.
Touchdown, Jaguars.
When you're that close to the end zone, it's always a smart play to find your blockers and follow them into the end zone.
Will be tied with the extra point. He makes the PAT. Everyone's forwards all lined up and ready for the kickoff. He sends this one deep. He's to the 20. And down he goes at the 24.
Boy, the two offensive coordinators have to be loving this. In fact, you can look over at our booth next to us and see how much they're enjoying it with a big smile on their face. The defensive coordinators, on the other hand, might be looking for a pink slip on Monday.
Now's when you start to approach each drive thinking that if you take the lead, then the momentum you gain feels that much more powerful. And a quick throw. And they make the stop around the 28-yard line. Bailey gains about 4 yards there.
Man left, man left.
They come out in an empty backfield.
Ready, ready, Hammerhead, Hammerhead, 18.
Throws it in a hurry. He might have a chance. And he's taken down around the 31-yard line.
That makes it 3rd and 3.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Eat.
With the pass, incomplete. Excellent series by this defense, forcing them to go 3 and out.
And the offense really struggled on this drive. They're going to have to pick it up if they want to move the ball on these guys.
Wilkinson is waiting for the snap. He's taken down at the 44-yard line.
Boy, this is turning into a shootout here. Now remember, the last time we saw this offense out in the field, they answered the bell and scored a touchdown. Can they do that now a second time? I was really impressed with their last series. They came out with a focus on the passing game, and the offense got the job done. We'll see if they have the same strategy here.
Out of bounds at the 47. Fritz off the right side. They'll bring him down right around the 50. Has it to the senior. And down he goes, right around the 10-yard line. And for Schaffer, he's just established a new school record for passing yards in a game.
Every single pass he has thrown has been spot on today. The guys catching the ball have been pretty sharp, too.
Brought down at about the 7-yard line. And he carries the ball for a nice gain. Touchdown, Jaguar. Nice run and a score by the halfback.
And a nice call by the coach there. Just give it to your main man anytime you're near the goal line.
And he converts the extra point. Reese Davis joins us in the studio with this update. Reese?
The Horned Frogs taking the field in Fort Worth. And for TCU, they're staring squarely at a 6-game losing streak. And for Whitworth, he's having a fine day, more than 200 yards passing. Arizona State leads it 34-28.
Touchdown difference here, Reese, 31-24. Whitmore has the ball all teed up, and he's ready to kick this one off. He kicks it off, and he got all of that one. He's to the 20. He makes it out to maybe the 23-yard line. This deficit can be easily overcome, sure. But they have to be thinking if they don't get something going on this series, the burden is going to be felt by their defense. Throws a bullet over the middle. A quarterback in the gun with 5 receivers. He chucks it downfield. They come out in a 5-wide set. He heaves it deep. Makes a catch in the end zone. Touchdown. Kirk, that was a beautiful pass and a nice catch.
Well, this is one of those plays you just sit back and admire. The quarterback threw the ball perfectly. And again, the speed of the receiver is the difference in this play.
The coverage just couldn't keep up with him there. They'll line up for the extra point in an attempt to tie the game. And he tacks on the extra point. They line up to kick this one away. And he got all of this one. Great kick. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. South Alabama is clicking on offense right now, Kirk. A whole different story from the first half.
Yeah, I think they've made a few tweaks to their game plan, and I think it's helped them out. The quarterback seems to be making better decisions. Right now, they can't be stopped.
This offense threw the ball extremely well on their last drive, and they ended up with a touchdown.
This offensive coordinator's got to be feeling so good about the execution that he's seeing from his quarterback and his wide receivers. Because, again, they put so much time into trying to put a plan together, and to be able to see that actually come into play makes you feel pretty good as a play caller.
Tackles him hard at the 23. We've got 3rd and 12. Ball on their own 23. Quick throw. Tackle right around the 48-yard line. And for Schaffer, his passing totals are looking like they might make school history.
It's been a terrific campaign for this young man from day one. Breaking that record would be quite an honor.
He steps out at the 44.
That's good for a gain of 4 yards. That Second and 6.
3 down, 3 down. Let's go, let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Green 8.
They bring him down. And that's the end of the third quarter. And we'll head into the final quarter of play with the score all knotted up. Back in this very pivotal fourth quarter. Huge play by the defense here early in the fourth quarter. A big stop in a tie game.
You know, at that point, I think, Brad, the quarterback's just better off just taking a sack. You have to be very careful as you're feeling pressure to throw the ball just to throw the ball. If you feel like you're not going to be able to make a play and the defense got you, just give up on that play and get ready for the next down.
So early in the fourth quarter, every possession is going to count from here on out, and we're in a tie ball game. Oh, they really needed that one, and he dropped it. From their own 26-yard line, it's second down. He's tackled at the 28-yard line.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Check. Line 80.
There's a strike complete. He's down. They've got 10 guys up. They're coming after the kick. And this one is a beauty. Brought down at the 31-yard line. And for Schaffer, he's a proud new owner of the school record now for most passing yards in one game. The fact that he's been able to put up these stats on the road makes it doubly impressive. This is when things get a little prickly. You need your playmakers to really come through here. He's got it with room to run. He gets hit out of bounds around the 46-yard line.
Gain 15 on the play. First down.
3 down. Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
Gets to around the 42.
That's good for a gain of 12 yards. First down.
Tight end right. 3 down. Let's go. Hey, kill. 15.
He's taken down around the 33-yard line.
That brings us second and 9.
Three down. Watch 14.
Tackle made at about the 25-yard line.
That's good for a gain of 8 yards. That makes it first and 10.
Three down. Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53.
There's a strike complete. Nice play to set up first and goal.
Man left. Three down. Let's go. Here we got Mike, number 53.
He fights forward to about the 7. Second down, goal to go. 7 yards for the touchdown.
Let's go. Here we got Mike,
Now he pitches it, and he hits him hard at the 13-yard line. This is the 8th play of the drive. They'll spread the field here. Let's see what the defense does with a 5-wide outlook. Gets rid of it quickly, and that was almost picked. This isn't much more than an extra point. There's a little bit of happy feet down there on the field. Let's get the call.
False start. Offense.
Maybe he got the cadence wrong coming out of the huddle. The coaches have a low threshold for mistakes like that.
Kicks away, and he got it. Reese Davis is standing by with this update. Reese?
The Cougars arrive at today's game ranked number 18 in the country. And for West Virginia, they're in danger of losing 2 straight. BYU leads it 7-0. Elsewhere, let's get you up to date from Fort Worth. And we've been keeping an eye on this one all day. And for TCU, they're trying to change their luck. And for Moss, he scored a touchdown. TCU has the edge, 38-34.
Recently, a field goal separating us here, 34-31. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. He'll return it from the 3. At the 30. He's tackled at the 36. I have a feeling we haven't seen the end of the fireworks today.
They have time on the clock, so I wouldn't rush things here. The important thing is to move the ball down the field and put points on the board.
They'll spread the field with 5 wide. And he's tackled around the 35-yard line.
Too easy, too easy. Check. Green on box 2. Motion, motion, motion.
And it's caught, and he's brought down quickly. Make the stop at the 47-yard line. He gets to about the 34-yard line. So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers. Pass incomplete, trying to get it to his receiver.
That makes it 2nd and 10.
From the 34-yard line, it's 2nd down.
55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Great concentration to pull it in. And he's taken down around the 25-yard line. Short over the middle. They'll bring him down right around the 12-yard line. They'll line up with 5 wide receivers. He fights forward to about the 10. Looks for his tight end over the middle. That's a great tackle at the 5. he makes it out to about the 5-yard line.
That brings up 4th and 3.
This one should be makeable. Might have been some early movement up front.
False start, offense.
It's so tough to move the ball forward. Even a 5-yard setback can do damage to a drive.
He gets it up, and it splits the uprights. Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. Sends it sailing downfield. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback.
Well, that's what it's all about for these guys. If you can turn up the pressure, you'll create more chances for your defense.
Great job by the defense tonight, getting into the backfield and creating issues for this line. One thing the defense doesn't want to do here is allow any big plays. We might have overtime in the back of our minds, but down on the field, that hasn't occurred to anyone. They want to end this thing in regulation. One thing the defense doesn't want to do here is allow any big plays. We might have overtime in the come out on an empty backfield. Throws to the receiver, incomplete.
Jefferson's intended receiver.
Man left, man left. Down. Let's go.
Airing it out long. Almost intercepted.
McKinney was the intended receiver on the play. That'll make it 4th and 10.
Humphrey back deep to return. What a collision. Nice yardage on the run back. This is when things get a little prickly. You need your playmakers to really come through here. Draw here. Nice run, and he's brought down.
That'll make it 2nd and 4.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Here we go. Reds, never red.
Here comes the pressure. Here's the throw, and I don't think he got anything on that.
That's good for 3 yards. 3rd
Tighten
down.
up, tighten up. Pull together.
Mike 55! Mike 55!
Fires out to his wideout. Brought down at the 31. Just under 3 to go in regulation. And down he goes at the 28.
That makes it 2nd and 8.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Green 19. Let's do.
Gains his way to the 20-yard line. And he's going to come up with a sack. And that'll set a new school record for most sacks by one player in a game.
He's really forced them to change their offensive schemes with how disruptive he's been. That's influencing a game.
So the sack makes this a 2nd and long. Tackle at the 12-yard line. And he's hit before he can go anywhere. And it pays off. Touchdown. And he tacks on the extra point. A 9-play, 51-yard drive. And they come away with 7 points.
Brad, I thought that was a textbook drive. I thought they did a really good job of showing balance, mixing the play calling with the run and the pass. Just an overall well-executed touchdown drive.
He sends this one deep.
Boy, this is a competitive game. It's fun to watch these two teams go back and forth. Just when you think one team has the edge, the other gets right back into it. This is exciting.
You know this is a real crucial time in the game. It could still go either way. Just under 2 to go in the game. He's looking for his man. Across midfield. Caught by the sophomore to the 20. He has some room. Touchdown, South Alabama. And for Schaffer, this is now the most storied season a quarterback has had in school history.
He's taken apart every secondary they've faced, and now he's got this great achievement to show for it.
Here comes the kicker to try to tie this game up. He makes the PAT. South Alabama to kick. Humphrey fields it at the 1. Tackle at the 31-yard line. These offensive coordinators have done a remarkable job. I think it's going to be who blinks first.
Well, I think both of them right now feel pretty good about what they're trying to do. The challenge for them is not to change the mojo and the rhythm that they've both been able to create.
Here we are late in the 4th quarter, and this is what this game has come down to. Every possession is going to count, and this could be the one right here. Throwing right. Picked off by the freshman. And they'll return this one all the way.
With the interception.
It was time for somebody to step up and make a play, and boy, did the defense come through. Now they've got a chance to take the lead. That was huge.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 11. Just over a minute left. Nice run there. Fritz picks up about 7 yards on the run.
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Let's go.
Touchdown, Jaguar. The play clock's at 0. They took too much time.
Delay of game, offense.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. I wouldn't be surprised if they just squib it here. Humphrey takes it at the 4. Brought down at the 27. Well, I'm sure the return man would have loved to go for 6 that time.
Not much time to be creative here. They've got to get the ball into the end zone.
Even in a game this close, I think it's going to take something very unexpected to change the outcome. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. He's going right. Oh, he had a shot at the pick.
Well, the quarterback's breathing a huge sigh of relief because he got away with throwing what should have been an interception.
From their own 27-yard line. 2nd down. In the shotgun and 5 wideouts. There's a strike complete. He's down. The Warhawks taking their first time out of the half. Pulls it in, and he's in the open field. He's taken down at the 40-yard line. The Warhawks use their 2nd timeout. From their own 40-yard line. 1st down. He goes downtown. The Warhawks using their 3rd and last timeout. So they'll have one last shot here to possibly tie this game up. They'll need their prayers to be answered if they don't want to lose this one. Can they pull it off? The defender had it and then dropped it. And the ball game's over. And our final score in this one, 48-41. For EA Sports and Kirk Herbstreit, this is Brad Nessler saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.